Yo ho ho! What's going on, guys? This is Grim Reaper bringing you another, or I guess the first. It's not even the first. It's not even like the real one, but a stock update. In this video, it's intertwined with the poll question, as we already do it. But it won't be a super lengthy one because of the style of the question. I really wanted to address, and I want to consistently address poll updates and changes in individual character stock in reference to, or I guess in the definition of, how the community perceives the character. So not necessarily completely fighting capabilities or character development, but just in general, the developments that the character has and how those developments make you feel because of it. You know, if a character loses to a certain individual that you think he shouldn't, does he lose value to you? If a character beats an individual who you think he shouldn't, does he gain that much more value to you? Those are the things that the stock should be evaluated and that you should consider whenever you add your vote into these stock prices, or not stock prices, but basically like stock updates. So for the question we asked, considering chapter 129 primarily, how has your approval of Darkshine changed? So as you can see on the screen, with 12% out of 194 votes, individuals are saying, I smell pussy. They want a bigger stock drop for Darkshine. On the other hand, we have with 20%, they say he didn't lose. Technically, it's a draw. I presented that argument before in the podcast, and it isn't necessarily unreasonable. And that's probably why it's holding 20% of the vote out of 194 votes. But 20% is really not that much. With almost 70% of the vote, 68%, we have he'll be all right, but this isn't a good look. A smaller stock drop for Darkshine. So it looks like unanimously you guys are agreeing that there should be a smaller stock drop for Darkshine, but there should definitely be a stock drop. I agree with this because development is literally the definition of change. Change is development. So in order for you to change, you have to be at a certain, you have to recognize that you're at a certain point, and then you have to recognize the change or reaching of a different point. And that's in between that, like, where we have to recognize that there's going to be a change. So right now, or beforehand, the first one, chapter 126, part 2 of the Psychos chapter, in the beginning of Darkshine versus Garou, the perception of Darkshine was incredibly high. His standard was way up top. Everybody just was hyping him up. Darkshine is very, very, very strong. But now we're seeing the truth of the matter of his confidence. And I think it's fair. Like I said, I always do. I'm not going to necessarily agree with a certain point of view, but I will speculate and bring contrast to, or even just evaluate your opinions and your responses because of it. So let's see what you guys are saying as to why you guys think Darkshine should receive a smaller stock drop. All right. Okay. All right. Let's start from the top. With I'm just there Fort Holtz. Or Holtz. I guess that's what it looks like. He says he's just just got low self-confidence, man. He's proven he can output massive damage. 17 likes. Seems like people support it. But isn't, like, acknowledging that he has low self-confidence, like, is that a negative thing? Like, in almost every aspect of, like, your life, having a lot of confidence is a pretty good thing, or a pretty helpful thing, pretty efficient thing. It's good. So I'm not sure if, like, I think you're in agreement, and I'm not sure which you voted for. I'd probably say you voted for a lower stock drop, but you may have voted for technically a draw. Remember, the comments aren't necessarily going to represent the majority of the votes or the majority opinion. That's why we actually put the comments down there, so that, like, the minority can actually express their viewpoint and explain why, like, the majority logic is incorrect, because it's a lot easier now for the majorities to be wrong than it is for a minority to be wrong. You know, minority can be wrong. I know minorities are often wrong. And minorities, I'm obviously discussing or addressing, referring to individuals that, like, are casuals, that, like, are anime only, for example, or like are webcomic only, for example, stuff like that. They may have different opinions, but whatever the case. Garou, the type of guy. What's good, my boy? Welcome back. He says he bled a little, but undamaged. Other than that, mentally, way more damage. Yeah, mentally like deteriorated. Yeah, man. And it's funny that like it really is like that. Like not only did Garou like hold back from busting his ears in, but like he really did like fuck over his ego and his self-confidence, and he showed him what true fear is, what true dominance is, as he told Orochi. As he told him that he was missing that 8 factor, that fear. Told Saitama like, oh, this is fear. Yeah. Garou's instilling fear to some of these individuals. Now it's not in President, it's like it can't be the case. We know monsters have fear. We know monsters instill fear. It's what the monsters are doing to the heroes. But it's a nice little comment there about that Darkshine's damage is more internal than it is external. Gums gang was good, bitch. Gums became a mod, or no, he didn't. No, he didn't. That was kelp. Gums gang says stock dropped for fighting, but that homie stock on the rise when he tried to help Garou, even after he got his ass beat. That was some real nigga shit, bro. That was some real nigga shit. I kind of I saw it as like too good. Like, there's really no need to do this. Like, there's certain times where, like, you don't do shit like that. But this gives us a new footing for Garou and Darkshine individually. The next time that Garou sees Darkshine, he may not necessarily go off on sight. He may not try to use him as a milestone. He may not even try to prove something against Darkshine. Could just be cordial to an extent, or indifferent. Probably the better word. Well, I think in the next occurrence with Darkshine, he'll also try to restrain. They won't have that same bravado and confidence. They're trying to capture or assault Garou. And I think he may think more of him, like way more of him. Like that hint that like you're calling out, you're mentioning him like saying that at the end, like, hey man, get out of there. That says a lot about Garou, but that says a lot about Darkshine, but it says a lot about what Darkshine thinks of Garou. And that's pretty important too. Shit, bro, I'm smoking too much, bro. Hold up. Alright. Here we go. Moosely. It was good, bro. He says, if he had the confidence at the time to continue fighting at 100%, he would probably have done much better. If you look at him at the end of the fight, he really didn't seem that damaged. He's probably going to get further character development in the future that will make him believe in himself more. Rudimentary, basic shit, 100%. He's going to overcome it, get better because of it. Out of like the obviousness of that statement, because we know it to be true, and what most likely was going to be the sequence of events or the development of his character. We haven't really talked about what the final result or the final Darkshine is going to be, or the solution of this is going to be. Like, what does a more confident Darkshine really need? I guess we hinted on it a little bit in the last video, but like, how do you really picture that? Like, how much stronger is that guy because of it? Bruce was good, or Haji. This nigga's still mad at you because he lost his mod powers. Haji says he has a kind heart since he was worried about Garou getting crushed, and even though Garou was pounding him, he didn't seem to take much damage, only a small nosebleed. Being a hero isn't about being fearless, it's about conquering your fears. You know what they say: faster you rise, harder you fall. This is his first fall. He didn't take much physical damage, but he's mentally broken right now. But that doesn't mean he's a failure as a hero, because like I said, he has a kind heart. He isn't just some random coward who has never experienced the fear of defeat that happens to be extremely strong. Alright, he isn't just some random coward who has never experienced the fear of defeat that happens to be extremely strong. I'm just saying he is just, okay. He was born weak and became strong with his own efforts, so I respect him a lot. I agree, bro. That's respectable. I agree. Highlighting like the fact that like his determination and his essence and his hard work is what got him here definitely helps solidify the previous opinion about Darkshine's strength, and it helps remove the doubt that you would have for his power in general. Like, I don't necessarily think that individuals were like doubting him as like not as strong as what people were making out to be, or like not as strong as what he himself was seeming, because I think he lived up to that. I think he fulfilled that more than convincingly. His defensive capabilities, his tanky display, Darkshine showed exactly what I expected and more, and it was impressive. I expected that, and it was impressive. There's not a lot of things that like you can expect and it be like still so hype, but this was one of them. Darkshine did his job. I'll agree with you. I'll give you that. That would be, if you were supporting that there'd be a draw, I would take that as valid reasoning. And if you were supporting a lower stock drop, then I think that would be good reasoning for that as well. Will Fox Johnson was good, my nigga. Darkshine speed stock took a massive hit, but his durability stock raised from this fight. Nigga, there aren't individual stocks for individual fucking traits and shit like that, nigga. Speed took a massive hit, but durability, yeah, his durability is hype as fuck. I don't know why speed would be some question. I don't know. Yeah, he did get up on him. He did get speed blitz rushed the entire time. Straight banana. That's Gucci, dude. He says, it's just a mental loss. Poor Darkshine is depressed. At least he's admitting it's a loss. Alonzo Ahuna was good, boy. He says, I mean, who else would have tanked those clean hits from Garou that well? His stock really hasn't dropped. Eek! You sure? That's expected if you're fighting the MC of this arc. I don't know about all that, bro. That's kind of like you're giving Garou a free pass, and like I'm not down to do that, bro. Not Garou, Darkshine. I'm not down to do that. You can't be afraid in a fight, scream like that, feel so ashamed of yourself after the fight, and then like not take a stop drop from that. The fact that Darkshine was on his knees saying like, "Why did I say eek?" That should help confirm that Oda, what am I saying? What the fuck trash is out there? That one is trying to get you to like see him like that. Like you're supposed to see this character as like shameful right now for what he did. Mike B713. I guess Alonzo's a draw supporter. Mike B713 says, I always knew that was bronzer. Yeah. Jesse's 99 was Gucci. He says, Garou is just amazing. Darkshine's still raw as fuck. I agree. I guess he's pushing the narrative that like it was really the impressiveness and the emphasis of like Garou that overwhelmed Darkshine's greatness. I don't know if I would use that argument though, because that's when you should shine the most up against the most indomitable individuals. And there was not only was there no perception from the manga only community, excuse me, because I'm not really in the webcomic side, but like there was no perception that like this is gonna be an easy fight for Garou. That wasn't it. Garou was the underdog. Darkshine was the one above, was the towering lead ahead. People were telling me like, why are you like messing with Garou over Darkshine at the beginning of the fight? I'm like, because it's Garou. He just tanked Orochi and Rover. Like Darkshine isn't doing a thing, but Darkshine did something. Not crazily, but Darkshine showed up. He's right here. Maybe this current Garou is a little bit stronger than Darkshine, maybe, but if it is, it's not that much. My boy Steve-O what's good, bro? All right, so Steve-O says, I feel like he's damaged mentally much more than physically, but that doesn't change my opinion of him for the worst. It actually makes me appreciate him more as a character that he can feel this way at all. Okay, so you're saying his stock should rise because of the depth of this character now. He's definitely like, okay, so he's getting more development, so you think that should make his stock rise. Okay, fine. That's one argument, and I accept it. His display of tankiness, that's another argument, I accept it. Those are all good arguments as to why his stock should rise, but there are stronger arguments as to why I believe, as to why his stock should fall. And like, normally those would be drastic falls. A loss is a drastic fall. And we can all agree that, like, he, by saying eek and by being afraid like that, he technically lost. He got back up immediately. Wasn't really showing any signs of, like, damage. But he himself admitted, like, why did I cower like that? So once again, I can't, and cowering is worse than losing. Cowering is worse than losing. So I can't necessarily, like, I can't not give him a stock drop. I can't do that. Like, at least I haven't heard an argument strong enough for me not to give him a stock drop yet. It's, all these arguments are just like depleting the gratitude of this drop. I definitely am now leaning a lot more towards a smaller stock drop, because like you guys like giving him, you know, kind words of acceptance and tolerance and, like, you know, support, like some faggots and shit. But like, let's see what the rest of Steve says. Shows that he's not one note. Shows that he's not one note, although we knew that already, since it's nice to see even more depth. I'm just looking forward to seeing how Murata handles this. Yeah. I'm just like, I agree he has more potential now. His character potential has grown now. Like, his stock potential has gotten bigger or has expanded, but the value of his stock has dropped. If that makes any sense in like any manner. Like, sure, his stock can get a lot higher now, but right now it's low because of the current event. But I don't know, that just like push me towards the smaller stock drop though. Next we got Greavy Poo. Hey Griever, if you're watching this video, bro, I have not forgotten about the final Borzak collab thing that we're doing. But excuse me, I don't have internet on my computer, so like I literally can't record right now. So we're having problems with the One Punch Man podcast and the audio and stuff like that. Once we get through this corona issues, I'll be fine. We'll be back up to date and everything will be back and running, and hopefully we'll actually have improvements. But in the meantime, we're gonna have to deal with it, muddle through. So please muddle through with me, Griever. You've been part of the association since like the beginning, but like I know you're about it. I know you're gonna be about doing Tyson content whenever. So like just, you know. Griever says, never had much stock to begin with. Griever, stop, man. Kageyama. What's Gucci, nigga? Kageyama says, you gotta spend money to make money. His stock dropped a bit, but I guarantee he's gonna overcome this fear of fighting and show how strong he is for real. Great statement. Great statement. This may actually be the strongest argument we've heard. At least if I'm conceptualizing it or if I'm expanding upon it correctly. Basically, let's say that Darkshine's pinnacle with this, like, we're gonna call what happened to him the awakening, right? We'll call that. Darkshine awakened to what true power or true fear was up against Garou. So before that pre-awakening, we had a pretty confident individual. So let's say that pre-awakening Darkshine's maximum capabilities, if they were to be rated on the scale, 1 to whatever the fuck I decide, let's say that his was at a 50. When he awoke, what I believe that Kageyama is saying is that if the maximum of the stock was 50, then the value of that maximum stock dropped below 50, 25, 35, 45, however you want to consider it. But the maximum at which the stock can now get to, or the potential at which it's projected to, that's probably the best to say it now. Because we didn't have a projection of what Darkshine could get to. We can now project, or have information to project to the next point at which the stock could get to if we see it supplemented appropriately with like development as Murata is most, or excuse me, as one is most likely going to do. And it's higher now. That next growth, the awakened Darkshine, that's the highest stock potential for that. Should be 100 if we're going to keep quantitatively valued, or at least higher than 50. Now, I definitely don't think it's going to be too forward. I don't even think he's going to be like that much stronger by overcoming this issue. I think this issue is just impeding him at a higher level. The question is, what other things at a high level can he do if he was not impeded? I think that he'll have the majority of his arsenal. I think he'll be able to combat more difficult, more complex, and more effective fighting capabilities than he did before. But it's not like pre-awakened Darkshine wasn't dealing with almost anything. Like this is Garou. This is the pre-awakened Darkshine that just took on Super Highlight Garou. Like Dragon Fist combinations and everything like that. Like he took it on. So like once again, we don't truly know how much stronger Darkshine will get after this. We don't know if he'll just get back to an original strength level. We don't know if he's being nerfed by this, and if 50 is a true value and he's just below it. We don't know if that's going to be the case. All we know is that, like Steven pointed out, just like you pointed out too, you gotta spend money to make money, and the fact that he has potential to grow now is what we should be valuing. And I agree with that, but I don't know if that factor is enough to destabilize the fact that he lost and he was in it. He showed his cowardice. You guys mentioned like self-confidence, low self-confidence. No, cowardice. This is what I want to use. That's what I want to use to describe his actions, his feelings, his expressions, his demeanor towards the fight. It was cowardice to a certain point. Just him seeing Darkshine gain more and more power. Like the dialogue that we got in the first part of the fight, describing Garou's capabilities and like him waking up, that seemed to just be descriptive, like a narrator in his head, in Darkshine's head, excuse me. He's narrating this guy's story, like, oh, this guy's actually really, really strong. All right, bet I'm gonna have a good fight. I guess that has to be part of the process in order to help highlight at the end that like Darkshine doesn't want a good fight. He wants Darkshine doesn't want like to fight a strong opponent. He just wants a good fight. So like, it's funny because people like to make it out to be that like One Punch Man isn't deep, but these are lessons and like ideals that obviously we already knew about. We've experienced them before, but like in Vagabond, one of the greatest sayings ever, they were elaborated upon deeply. It's kind of badass how like in One Punch Man you can explore those same concepts too, because it is a saying and they are adult things. And there's a lot of like casual, playful things that like distract people from it. People think that it's just like some brainless battle shit, but like we get into a lot of pretty deep shit like on a lot of occasions. So that's interesting. Up next we got Santiago Garcia. What is Gucci, bro? My boy Santiago says just a smaller stock drop. That's it. Okay, I fuck with it. Joe Smooth, what's Gucci, bro? He says Darkshine took way less damage than Garou. He didn't lose physically. When did Garou take? Yeah, you're right. Never mind. You got it. He didn't lose physically. He lost mentally. But to be honest, at the rate it was going, Garou probably would surpass him physically too. Yeah. Not a downside for Darkshine as Garou literally got levels stronger mid-fight. Are we really going to emphasize the escalation as the reason why this is happening? I'm not sure, bro. I don't think that Garou beat Darkshine because he grew stronger than him. I don't think the limiter is the reason why Garou was beating Darkshine. I think that's how Garou fights. That's the capabilities that Garou had when he busted down Pooty Pooty. Obviously when he woke up, and that he was gonna do that. I think he was just gonna do that. The King of Monsters, Orochi. What's good, bro? He says, big stock drop. Excuse me. Big stock drop. Being frightened because he was being overwhelmed. You don't see Atomic Samurai. Oh, you don't see Atomic shaking in fear against Black Sperm when he's kept multiplying. Tell him twice. Or when Garou was fighting Orochi, he didn't land a single hit. You can only imagine how scared Darkshine would be if he encountered Orochi. It's funny, bro. It's like Darkshine was talking shit talking about, oh, bro, if we'd have ran into Atomic Flash, he talked to Michael King, we'd have been done. Finito. Imagine Darkshine running against Rover. That's a conversation now. People were talking about how like Darkshine should be able to beat Rover. It's a conversation now, and I'm bringing that up. His self-confidence should be a matter in the fights. Excuse me, in the versus matches and fights. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll talk about it. But shut up. All right, man. Like and subscribe. We're having the next poll. I forgot what poll is tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow's poll is best fights in the Monster Association arc. We have 218 votes so far. I think that's the most that we've had so far on a poll question. And the next poll question we have after that, which should be the day after that, is Suiryu versus a My Mask. And we have 55 comments, the most comments we've gotten. So the engagement is blowing up. You guys are fucking with the last two questions as of late, so I appreciate that. I know the Elder Centipede Genos versus Drive Knight question was kind of like lagging. Not necessarily lagging, but you guys like complained about it a little bit, and you also complained about the Goketsu fight a little bit. That you guys wanted like different matchups, and I'm working on a way to get you guys to pick the next previous matchups. Obviously that means there's gonna be polls where we're not gonna do videos on, so don't expect it for. But we're definitely gonna have like polls for you guys to vote on which fights or which video, which topic you guys want to discuss next. With that being said, though, like I said, subscribe, check out the Discord if you want to discuss this topic in depth more. Darkshine, his stock drop. I will eventually, like I said, be getting a formatted way to present this type of video to you, a stock update type video. It may be that graph that we used before for power levels. It may be that, and we'll adjust it for stocks. But like I said, I'll see once we get back and rolling. We'll adjust those things. We'll implement all those plans and schemes. But in the meantime, yo! Oh shit, dog! I lost the nose.